You remember how it all started. The year was 1971. The dome was discovered in a remote desert, a gigantic structure of unknown origin. Then, the leading world powers founded the Cronus Corporation with the purpose of researching it. Scientists and other experts were transported inside the dome from Crystal Sands, a city built at its foot. The Spire Station was also built at the top of the mysterious formation, and all the goods and personnel were moving through it to reach the lands beneath the dome. Cronus promised the flourishing of the civilization in its advertising materials. Teleportation technology, flying cars, new power sources, the cure for all diseases, maybe even eternal life. Who knows? We thought it's our golden ticket. We thought these hospitality open doors led us to the greatest treasury in the universe. And although it was impossible to leave the dome, this subtle warning didn't stop us. Our faith in the better future made us blind. We were looking for new technologies and found millions of strange mechanisms we didn't know how to use. We were searching for immortality, but we lost so many lives. We let the genie out of the bottle, and we had no idea what it will take in exchange for fulfilling our wishes. We were delusional, not seeing the big picture. In September 1976, the day you were delivered from Spire to Magellan Station, the delusions were never stronger.
Hello, this is Dark Crystal Games. We are making Encased RPG, and today we are showing you our alpha version of Encased, which we shipped to Steam Alpha for our Kickstarter bakers. My name is Vyacheslav. I am the creative director of Dark Crystal Games, and today I'm gonna show you a little bit what we have so far. If you don't know anything about our game, you should probably check out it on Steam or Google it and go to encasedgame.com to check out. Basically, Encased is a old school sci-fi post-apocalyptic RPG inspired by such games as Fallout, Divinity Original Sin, Planescape Torment, and other classics. We're making the game for about I suppose 18 months so far, and we have reached alpha, and you're gonna see the same that our alpha bakers have seen. 2 days we shipped it 2 days ago, so it's still available. You can pre-order it. The link will be in the description, and I'm gonna run you through the character creation first. So in Encased, you play as an employee of Kronos Foundation, a huge corporation that basically rules the exploration of the dome. And the dome is the gigantic structure of unknown origin, which was hidden somewhere in some very distant desert, and it was discovered in the 70s. And when it happened, everyone was fascinated by this discovery, and the Kronos Foundation was basically organized and started to study what's inside the dome. And what's inside the dome are the dangerous anomalies and the great technology of some unknown civilization, which is called, who are called forefathers. So you, as a protagonist in Encased, start as an employee of this organization. The Kronos is divided into 5 departments, which are called wings. We have the Black Wing, which is like the basically the military and the security officers and guards, etc. We have the White Wing, which are scientists and researchers and medics. We have Blue Wing, who are engineers and technicians. We have Silver Wing, who are the managers and basically the rulers of Kronos. And we have a special Orange Wing, which consists of ex-convicts who actually exchange their well, basically they were freed, but they now work for Kronos and as the, well, the laborers basically. We have 4 steps in the character creation. You can choose your portrait. We have a lot of handmade styles portraits, so I suppose everyone would be able to pick something he likes. You need to choose your age, which age is checked in dialogues and some interactions with other characters. So you will be there will be different reactions depending on which age your character is. And what is the most important, you need to choose the wing, as I said, the department. Today we're gonna play as the White Wing employee, the scientist, basically. I can randomize it a little bit, I suppose, to make a go, I think. So you need to choose your gender, and your gender is also checked in the dialogues. So there are different reactions from different NPCs depending on your gender. We have a bunch of like appearance settings you can choose from. We will add more and more as we progress with beta version and then the early access release. So there will be more and more appearances to choose from. Oh, the skin type, if you want to check, there are hair types, but I'm gonna stick with this one because it looks similar to this the character portrait I have chosen. And I think I'll just add it a little bit like this. I'll add some little features to make it as close to the portrait. Okay, and I'm gonna enter the name, I don't know, Alan, for instance. On the second screen of character creation, you need to pick up your attributes, your stats, basically. There are 8 primary stats in Encased, which are muscle, perception, guts, charisma, brains, deafness, luck, and psyche. If you are an old school player, you probably can immediately spot some similarities to, for instance, the special system of Fallout, which is indeed has a lot of similarities, though we have we have 8 primary stats instead of 7 because we decided to add a very special stat which is related to like psychotic abilities and resistance to like mental negative statuses and stuff like this. When you create your character, and depending on the wing that you choose, we assign the primary stats as a template, the way we think makes sense for this type of character, as for the scientist in this case. So my brains is pretty high because I'm smart, I'm the scientist. My muscle, my guts, which is like for bodybuilding, are average or even, you know, low. Perception's pretty high because as a scientist I need to spot things. My luck is, you know, mediocre. My deafness is okayish. And charisma is not that high. Depending on how do you invest points in the, and well, if you want, you can kind of change all of that. It's nothing is locked. Your like wing does not really block you in any sense. You can make a very strong scientist if you want for some reason. It's all good. We have a bunch of secondary stats which you probably can recognize too if you play RPGs. There are only really two new stats which are really important, which is fortitude. It's a resistance to negative physical statuses, and there is resilience, which is for negative mental statuses. Basically, we have resistances. We have 6 damage types in Encased, which is mechanical, energy, biological, heat, cryogenic, and psychotic. And when you, well, depending on the primary stats you distribute, you have a certain bonuses to those. So there are various damage types encased. You need to develop the resistance, like defense resistance to all of them at some degree to be able to survive, because the dome is very dangerous place. And we have a bunch of skill trees. Basically there is 16 skill branches at the moment in Encased. Your starting values depend on, again, on the primary stats you choose. So if I like decrease my muscle, my I don't know, hand-to-hand combat immediately decreases, or if I decrease the brains, my like science skill decreases. So yeah, it's basically very important to choose how do you want to distribute your attributes, because those attributes, they don't really grow that much. They define who your character are. On the next screen we see the skills and abilities. You need to choose those. On the left side we see all those like the same skill branches from this screen, but now you can do again very important thing in your character development. You're supposed to choose 3 tech skills. You have 3 tech skill points, and you can assign those to any skill branches you want. What does it mean? It means that the tech skill immediately has a plus 20 skill points invested in it, and it also grows as twice fast as not the tech skill. Basically, when you invest 1 skill point, you increase the skill for 2, like 1 for, it goes 1 for 2, 2 for 1. I'm sorry. So I'm a scientist. I'm gonna pick, for instance, speech, because I want to reason people, and I will obviously invest into science skill, which is pretty important in our game. And I think I can be, I don't know, I can invest in tech a little bit. So now this is another really important concept of Encased, is that you not only develop your skills, but there are also abilities, and abilities are defined inside specific skill branches. For let's take a look at science. So science is a skill branch, but there is a bunch of abilities inside it, and you can choose how do you want to develop your character, particular what your character will be able to do. To buy new abilities, you need to spend ability points, which are these blue numbers. So for instance, the hacking, which is the skill to use like terminals and computers which you don't have access to, I need to spend 1 ability point. I will do that. So I know now I have 4. You get the 1 ability point for every 10 skill points invested in that particular skill. I will also learn the hacking of okay, it's small typo in the description. It's level 2. I will learn the improving scanning, and scanning is a very important concept in Encased. I'll show it a bit later. In tech, I will learn the, I suppose, gunsmithing and repairing, and I can even, okay, it's fine. And in my third, in speech, basically, I will learn the charm, because my charisma is high enough. I have requirement to have 4. I will learn conviction, which is like reasoning, talk to people using your intelligence. I will learn this, so I don't have any more ability points. Now I can start the game. If you don't like what you have got, you can reset it, try spend it again better. I can purchase abilities in other branches, but I can do this at any time when I have already started the game, so it's fine. Let's go to this. So this is a summary of my character. This is my primary stats, this is my secondary stats, these are resistances, and these are skills I have gotten. Well, abilities are on this screen, not on that one. So let's start the game. Alright, so here we can see one of the many Encased scripted interactions, which are the, well, small vignettes screens when you can do various story choices, but I will skip that one, this one for now, because, well, I suppose it's better for you to learn for yourself, and we just will go directly to the Magellan station, which is the first let's say the object of Kronos inside the dome you enter. And objects are various, you know, bunkers and research stations and labs and stuff like this. So in Encased we have this sort of, you know, like top-down view, like isometric view. You can rotate your camera in the locked angle. We are still kind of you know, discussing, do we want to keep it locked, or maybe want to unlock it, or make it optional, but well, we'll decide it a little bit later, maybe in beta. You can pan around if you want. You can lock your camera on your character if you need. You can, well, run with left click. You can inspect and interact with objects with right click, and we aim to make as many parts of Encased interactive if like as we can. You can sit on like seats and benches and chairs and stuff like this. You can interact with computers. You can examine the turret and learn which like stats it has, which level it is, and stuff like this. When we arrive to the Magellan, which is like our first stop, we immediately have a quest, a task. Our task is to arrive, when we arrive to Magellan, is to check in at reception desk. Basically, everyone in Encased is initially a Kronos employee under the dome. We have various key cards and access levels depending on which wing we are at. So it's important who you are. People will react differently, and you will be able to access different places depending on your access level. So our first task is to register. But because I am the scientist and I have my hacking level high enough, if I don't want to talk to this guy who is actually the administrator who is supposed to, to register us, we can instead hack the terminal. If you click like this, we don't have the access, but if we hack it, we can get the access. And when we get the access, we can register ourselves without the help of anyone else. So my access card, which is called Selectron, is now patched. I have the Selectron of White Wing, which gives me access to various labs and facilities. Other wings will not be able to enter without specific permission. And also I can log in into the like a local network. I can read my emails. There I have two emails from administrator. I can read news which happened in Magellan. I can, well, check out my stats. So I'm at the White Wing. I'm level 1, which makes sense. And my task is to receive the uniform and weapons, go through military training, and get the briefing how to use the scanner and how to interact with anomalies and other anomalies, radiation, and other well, dangerous stuff, which is a lot. When you interact with search containers, there is a chance of fortune reward happening, which means you get additional reward because of your luck skill, like luck primary attribute. So I was lucky, I got like immediately hidden ammo inside the flower pot, and there is some like the drug or something. So I will equip it to my belt. Belt is for the quick access. I can assign a couple of objects to it, and there is my like panel where I can assign various skills, and this is for my weapons basically. So I can go to the combat stance. So I can try to exit Magellan immediately, but if I click on the elevator that goes up, because we are under the ground, it says that I'm locked for now because of the quarantine, but I can go to the viewing site, which is like on the very roof of the mountain where the Magellan is built. So if you have played Fallout, like first and second and else, you probably remember the vaults. So all these objects of the Kronos under the dome are a little bit similar to the vaults. So I'm now on the roof. I can check out all the surroundings, and I can use the binocular. I can look to the to the west. I can check out what's going on in there. I can see various points of interest. When I check out those, my map is updated. If I click on in here, you can see there is like a map of the dome, which is huge, and there are several points of interest added to my the map, the global map. If I check out on the I suppose this is what? This is like north, I suppose. I don't remember, to be honest. Ah, yes, it's northern sector. I can see other points of interest. Those will be added to my my global map, and I will be able to check those later. I can't travel from here because it doesn't really make any sense on top of the mountain. But when I will be after the prologue, I will be able to inspect all those areas. Okay, so let's go here. Let's just really quickly check out what's going on. I got some loot, and I will just go downstairs. I will make a really quick pause. I will check out your questions for a second. Alright, so there was a question above which says, if you hover over the next level of a skill, does it tell you what you get if you choose that level up? Well, basically yes. There is a progression. For instance, oops, I need to go here. Let's check, for instance, the criminal skill, which includes various, nasty deeds. So there is okay, this is not translated. My apologies. There is for instance, lockpicking level 1, lockpicking level 2, and well, it's a little bit buggy. We need to fix the translation, but basically yes, there is for each next level there is a requirement, and you will see on the tooltip what will be like how your ability will be improved. I can scan this turret and I will get the research points, which I probably will talk in detail later, but you have your quests, which are here. My first quest was to register, and I did it through the terminal. I have got 3 other new quests, which are to get the uniform at level -2, is a training day, which is at level -3, which is like to have the military training, and the third one is to go to the floor -4 and to like attend the labs and learn how science works in Encased, basically. I have my codex, which gathers all sorts of information from when I scan objects. So it's important to scan everything, because you get, well, first of all, you get important information which can be used to solve quests. And also you get the Kronos technology points or Feathers technology points, which you can spend on various upgrades, like meds and stuff like this if you trade with scientists, because scientists love when you kind of get information for the codex. So this is the level -1, which is like lobby. There are several characters in here. I'm not gonna interact too much with them. I'm just gonna save real quick. So it's for us it's really important to make everything interactive, so you can click on everything, check out what's going, like I don't know, the flower pot, whatever. Like everything has its descriptions which may help you in some way. For instance, we have the vegan vending. You can buy the show soda, you can buy some fast food noodles. Those are food and food consumables, so it's important in any case to have, storage of healing items, food, because survival is a huge part of our game, basically. We can go to the toilet. We just check out, I don't know, for instance, in Encased, if you, if you use some objects, some things may happen. So in this case, I'm gonna use this mirror, and I'm using this mirror. I kinda, enjoyed myself when I looked in that mirror. So I'm getting a small charisma boost. It's only for 10 minutes, but what this means in the next dialogue, for instance, when I need to charm someone, my charisma will be boosted a little bit. And this may happen with many things, like with this sink, for instance. I'm washing my hands, or I can use a toilet for let's say resting, which removes a little bit of radiation from my body. There is an elevator which is disabled for a reason. There is a guy, Indra Kapoor, which has a quest, one of the first side quests in the game. I'm not gonna really show you because, well, you can just play the game in the future and enjoy it yourselves. I can click on this door and it will be locked. This is because, as I said, various wings of Kronos has access to different places initially. I'm from White Wing. I'm scientist, so there is no reason for me to be in here in the Silver Wing area. But if I would be a Silver Wing employee, I could enter in here. On the other hand, if my force ability, which is like for knocking out stuff, like if you need to knock out the chest or like container or the door or the valve which is stuck and stuff like this, you can use it. And the level of this ability is dependent on your muscle, but my muscle is not that big, so when I use it on this door, I say no, my ability rank is too small. The same goes for this security room, which is only for Black Wing employees. But if I if I start the quest, agree to help, I can now enter it because this guy provides me some access. So yeah, it's there is a lot of restricted areas, and it's important to understand how to get access in there. Alright, so we got another question, and the question is, I got a question. I like playing characters with a lot of charisma and a couple of companions. I need to... How big can the team be in Encased? Okay, that's a perfect question. Let me close it for a second. Let's open my character sheet, and I go my skills and abilities, and I go to the leadership. So leadership is an skill tree and Encased. The same as like science, medicine, tech, and everything else. There is a bunch of skills in here, which some of them are pretty interesting. For instance, if you develop well your leadership a lot and your barter is high enough, you can start your own caravans, which basically travel between the locations and gain money for you. But it's not available yet. It will be available later. But for instance, or you can be a mayor of some settlement if you develop the skill and you run the election and stuff like this. But what is also important is your team expansion. Well, it's temporary name. Team expansion ability, and to be able to get first sidekick, first companion, you need the leadership of 45, which I'm not, because well, and first of all, my charisma is not that high. And you need well the charisma of 4, which I can do, but the second one is 65 and 6, and the third is 85 and 8 charisma. So basically, you need to be really charismatic to be able to pick up 3 sidekicks. So the answer will be 4. Four characters is the well, at least at current state. In current design, you can have a party of 4. It's basically your main character and the well 3 companions, 3 sidekicks. I'm going down to level -2, which is like a warehouse and the parking lot and storage area and stuff like this. You can see we have a lot of elevations for exploration. Yeah, sidekicks and companions are well the same, like codename sidekicks for now. So we have a lot of elevations, we have a lot of ladders. You can see the area is pretty huge, so it's like level 1, level 2 of it. You can, well, it's all for the best of them, best of exploration, basically. Make it really interesting, because, we love Fallout games. Those are really great, but those were very, very flat. So we spend a lot of time to make our levels really, have a lot of hidden places you can visit, a lot of hidden like ladders and stuff like this you can use. So yeah, a lot of exploration go there. So I need to talk to this guy, who is the let's say quartermaster, Calvin. I high five him and I ask him for the equipment set. So he says that yeah, indeed, my jumpsuit, which is my like initial uniform, which doesn't have any protection, is not really suited for the dome. So he gives me a standard, white wing, like let's say starting set of uniform. Not the jumpsuit. So we have a helmet. We have the let's call it the jacket, the protective pants, obviously the boots, and the same protective gloves. All these pieces of equipment have their own stats, which is like weight. Your inventory is not limited in size. You can add as many things you want, but your encumbrance, like the weight you can carry, is limited, dependent on your muscle, obviously. So yeah, it's important to keep an eye on the weight of the items you have in the inventory, because you can be over encumbered. various equipment pieces give various like defense resistances, which is like energy resistance for radiation, biological for different like gases and chems, the mechanical resistance for like bullets and knives. Defense class is your primary, like your most important attribute to be able to avoid the attack of the enemy, basically. So I got my first set. I'm not gonna carry the helmet. Instead, I'm gonna talk to this guy and ask for the first settler's helmet, which, if you know, we are running the like a little activity on the our website at kronos.darkcrystalgames.com, where you can create your own NPC, submit it into the form, create a biography for it, and there is a chance it will be added to the game. And for everyone who does this, we kinda ship this little free small, like tiny DLC, which gives small amount of stats. It has some value, so you'll be able to have it. I'm gonna stick with my haircut. All right. There was a question from Anastasia about the stealth system. Um, Unfortunately, I want to avoid it for now because, as you can see, the stealth like branch it's in here. There are various abilities in it. For instance, like alarm disarmament, which is important. You want to turn off your alarms for like safe cracking and various protected doors. There is abilities to hide and be to have a disguise and to be almost invisible for everyone, but those are not available in current version. I think that those will be either available in beta or maybe in early access. We kinda still making it. Well, there is a lot of things we still need to add, but you can see there is already a lot. You can choose from those abilities and stuff like this. So we will talk about the stealth a little bit later down the road, like in next stream or something. We'll see. So I have a whole bunch of quests in here. Like for instance, Uya, she wants me to. Well, she's administrator, but she's like a rookie. She's newbie, and she's scared to talk to unpleasant people, basically. So she needs to get to Orange Wing employees back to the work, back to their duty, but she's scared. And this is one of the side quests, and we have a whole bunch of those. But I'm not probably showing too much of this to you because I don't want to spoil all the experience. But if you, I mean, look at this. There is a whole bunch of people, whole bunch of rooms. For instance, this is a security room of this level. You can, well, get access to it, and you can turn off the cameras, and you can do all sorts of things. Instead, as you can see, there is someone is banging into the door in here, which are two officers in server shell, which is like our variant of power armor, and they really want this door being open. So I'm coming here. And well, I think we maybe have shown this in some previous. Well, anyway, so basically, someone is knocking the door from other side, and they really want it to be open. I will just go through it really quick. So my tech skill is 30, which is high enough, so I can basically open it myself, the door. And I do this, and when I push like the buttons, whatever, those two guys inside, those two guys come inside, and one of them is carrying another, so this one is injured, as you can see. This guy, which is Kepler, the officer, he is looking for a doctor, and this guy is heavily injured. So despite me being a White Wing employee, like White Wing member, because I haven't really invested into the medicine, but I could, or I don't have any med packs with me, I can't really help him. So I probably gonna stay out of it. And unfortunately, this guy was, he was injured for a while, and doctors could not really save him. So they carry away his body to the morgue, and we can find him later in there. But Kepler is still here. He's really upset with how the thing, how things turn out. This is a broken armor of our second guy. We can examine it. We can scan it, which again gives us some points. And well, this is really a sad story. If I had another set of skills, I had a med pack, and if I had prepared better, I could save him. But now, well, he's in the morgue. I forgot about one really important thing. We have this give feedback button here right under my portrait of my character. I can push it, and when I do this form opens similar to your you know email stuff. So, and well, Encased is still in alpha, and there comes beta, and then early access. And for us, because well, Dark Crystal is a small studio, we are pretty new. It's important to get feedback from you, and this is the most direct way to do this. When you stand it like this, you can see you send a screenshot of the situation happens. You can say, hey, something is broken with caps, which is important, and do it like this. And you can say it's a bug, you have performance issue, or you just have a suggestion like make a better I'm bad in this, better loot in that chest. Oh, I'm really bad. And you can send it, and we'll get this through our report system. I hope it doesn't really. Okay, and now we'll check out those boxes and check out, are they really bad? Well, I got broken scissors, so I suppose my feedback was really, really helpful. I think. Okay, so probably we'll be done with this floor for now. Actually, I'm gonna check this trunk, but it's locked. Can I knock it out? I can knock it out, actually. I can knock it out and check out what's inside. So there is a bunch of electro equipment, which is for crafting. I'm gonna take it. I will just explore this floor just a little bit. Here I can kinda listen to the conversation of two guys inside the room without them seeing me, but I'm gonna skip it for now. You can do this yourself. I will just check out these, the lockers. I'm finding the lockpick, simple lockpick for, well, lockpicking, which adds to your lockpicking ability. I actually don't have any. I found a potato, which is cool. I found my, I guess, first weapon, baseball bat. I will just immediately equip it, as you can see. I'll check the refrigerator, the fridge, which, okay, I'm finding the beer, which is cool. Probably will add it to my panel too. And well, what's going on here? I think I'm gonna move further to the labs, basically. The labs, the scientific area. I'm a scientist after all. Alright, so here we are at the labs. First of all, I need to go through the decontamination room, which again applies the status to me, which is disinfection, which removes some radiation from me. As you can see, there are a whole bunch of, scientific panels, the, displays and stuff like this I can explore as a scientist, or just, ordinary folk. I can access this area. Well, no, this area is not restricted. I can check out the whole bunch of scientific terminals, check out the logs, this a lot of things happen in Encased. So yeah, if you're a scientist or you just really like to explore the setting of the game, there is, you know, a golden mine for you. Because I have this white wing Selectron, I can enter this more restricted area. There is this guy in protective suit. He says hi, but he says I shouldn't touch his hand because he's contaminated with some, you know, dangerous stuff probably. But overall, I'm here to get my training. If you remember, I'm supposed to learn how to avoid the dangers of the dome. And here in the center of the area, we have this like echo zone or something. Oh, it's early. And then come back. So, and here you can see, you know, the the anomalies. The first anomalies we encounter in Encased, which is like electrical anomalies, and we have three relics which are not identified. We are supposed to scan those, and we have this guy Sebastian, which kinda teaches us how to handle it. He teaches us how to handle the scanner, and also he gives us the like the red 3, the pills which will help us to get protected against the radiation. And we have this red force item which is like a remedy to clear out radiation. We only have 4 and we have a med pack, so I'm gonna use this one to get the protection, which gives me like 13 energy damage resistance before I go down, because when you touch anomalies it hurts. But as Sebastian said, when you need to like detect where anomaly is, if it's hidden, or you need kinda, you know, you know, disarm it for a while, you can use your bolt throwing ability to detect those. So I can use this here and here, and those electric anomalies are gone for a while, so I can pass. I'm gonna scan this unidentified relic, and I need to scan 2 more. So I'm gonna, oops, and you can see the area is radioactive, but because I have this like protection, I basically get 0 points, so it's not that scary for me. Oops, I didn't finish it. Alright, so I think I have done all he wanted from me. I'm going up. I'm gonna talk to him and finish this part of the quest. I'm getting experience. Alright, so we have finished, I think, we have finished 2 quests of the initial 3. We have a training day, but we're not gonna do it today. We'll save it for later. Here is the okay, so because I got radiation, and I could be hurt by, you know, anomaly. Actually will show it probably. So when you like, for instance, you're not cautious enough and you dive down, you immediately get a electric discharge. So you can see electra is applied, you lose some deafness, and you definitely lose some health. And my health is not that high because my bodybuilding is not that high, so I can talk to the doctor. The Magellan, as many other stations, has their own doctors, and we have one in here, and I can ask him to run the scanning diagnosis, and he says, okay, you have several problems, which probably means my health issues. When I agree, he can heal me up. I could also use the med pack, basically. So again, here there are a whole bunch of quests. this is our unfortunate soldier guy in server shell, which was dead, and now he's here in morgue. There are some other, shells with bodies we can, study and figure out why they died and stuff like this. And I actually need to go somewhere else. I'm gonna return to the warehouse. I will pick up one of the quests, and we'll see what's gonna be next. Alright, so I returned to the warehouse. I decided to pick up one of the side quests. So this guy, he has this the car with which is broken, but he doesn't know why, and the car has like this let's call it unusual engine, and because this engine is so unusual, we can scan it and figure out what it is basically. So, and we can figure out that this is the experimental car. It has an experimental CPS engine, which is for compact power supplies, I think, source. And we need to replace one to make this car run, basically. And this, so we agree to help him, and we need to find a replacement for it. So we'll do this in a bit. When we know what we need, we can talk to our warehouse keeper, which is Calvin, who gave us uniform, and we can tell what we need. And we need what? A part for experimental engine. We say we need a new CPS, and he says it's fine, but you need a voucher for it. We can ask why we need a voucher, and we can discover that it's not that easy, and we need to go through 9 hells of bureaucracy, basically. So now we need to go to administration floor to fill out the voucher and exchange it to new CPS. But I actually probably will go to the labs for one more second, because I forgot to show you one of the hidden areas of the game. So basically, Encased has whole bunch of, secret areas, so you need to look around to see, for hidden hatches and ladders and valves and stuff like this. And I found this small manhole, and this manhole leads me to some the tunnel which is under the main area. Okay, I think I'm stuck. Alright, so I'm stuck, which is unfortunate. Okay, no, we have some. Okay, I'll pause for a second. I need to restart the game, basically. Alright, we're back. So we have to restart the game. So, remember, this is alpha. Which is fine. Some troubles happen. That's why we have this feedback. I'm back to this floor -1. I'm registered, so I'll just really quick pick up the equipment once again, and I'll go to the administration level. But it's not that smooth. Okay, so again, because my save was pretty outdated, I need to run through a lot of things again. Instead, I probably will show you a couple of fun moments of Encased. For instance, this guy is looking for a rat, and but I'm gonna save like before that. So here in the parking area, we can find the car, which is kinda looks abandoned. I can again try to. Okay, I can't knock out. I can't lockpick its trunk, but I can knock out it. And I can pick up the canister, which I can use later in some quests. I'm not gonna show it, but you can, you know, figure it out on yourself. And I can open the car. I can open the car and I can look inside. And well, with my science check, I can figure out that there smells weird, like the car smells weird, some chemical odor. And this is because, well, something wrong with this car. But I can still start the engine. I can put the seat belt on, and the people around me, they start to kinda, you know, they start to look at me. And well, it's probably a bad idea try to steal the car on my first day on the duty, but because I saved just right before it, I still gonna do this. So I shift the gears, I step on the gas and try to drive out. And well, now one of those interactions happens. So I'm running the car, but something wrong with it. So I can try to rely on my dexterity, and I can try to steer the wheels, the wheel, or I can just stop. So I'm looking on this check. I'm running through the tunnel, so my check is successful. And here's the exit. I'm almost there, but there is a small problem. The pair of turrets kinda emerge, and the last thing I can see in my life is the, well, the lights of the muzzle flashes of those turrets. So you need to be really careful when encased. There will be a lot of these, you know, situations when things can go south if you're not careful. So yeah. So we got two questions. The first question is what exactly is the alpha build? This base, any wilderness map. So the alpha build is this base, but even not the entire base, only a couple of floors. We will add content as we go, but for now there is only the couple of floors. But because there are so many characters, so many kind of, you know, situations, little boosters and side quests you can do, so you can have, you know, pretty much fun only in this small area. But later, I suppose in Baker Alpha 2 or in Beta, we'll add a little bit more content, and we're actually making the hot fix for Alpha today, which will fix some quests, some localization issues, you know, and some technical minor bugs we have and stuff like this. And the second question is, will there be pets in this game, which is positive actually, because there is a social goal to have a pet dog in our game. I don't think it's reached yet, but I think it will be in the end. So yeah, you most likely will be able to have a dog in Encased. So the next question is, can we so the next question is when the game will be finished. It's a tough question, it depends. Um, we hope to launch beta sometime soon because we are in alpha now. We're gathering your feedback, we're fixing the issues, and after the beta there will be early access, and early access will have a pretty huge, you know, chunk of the game you'll be able to play, but it's not, you know, it's not the entire game, obviously. Um, and for the final release, we are not really ready to announce anything yet because, well, it's a long road, so we need to hit the early access first. So the question is, nothing for cat lovers or people who like exotic stuff. We'll see. Maybe you'll have a lizard or like cat. We'll see. We'll see. We don't know yet. Pets is obviously an important part of any game. Being able to pet the, being able to pet the, like, I don't know, the dog or the cat is as important as be able to, I don't know, build a baseball bat with nails or something. So I found this small, you know, hidden area here with this like steam, you know, steam going through the pipes, but I successfully turned it off with these valves, and I found the key from this dead guy. He was rather unfortunate, I suppose. So I can scan him to get a little bit more information what happened to him. So he is a Kronos employee. He's Mason dog. Wait, is he female? I think something wrong here. He's 46 years old and he's dead on 14th of September, which is like today. He was rather unlucky to die on our first day here, and he was burned, which called the shock and then the death. But we were lucky to pick up the key from him, and we can try to apply this key somewhere. So is it this one? No, this one is not locked. I have a fortune reward. I'm finding a lot of scissors in here. But now I open this item locker with the key I just found. I'm getting the power cell, which is not that expensive. Getting 40 combones, which is the local, you know, the currency, and I found in relic shards, which are pretty expensive, so it's a good find anyway. So I have returned to the lobby, and I'm gonna show you a little thing related to reputation, which is one of the important mechanics in Encased. So basically, when I started the game, so we just let's just go to the reputation screen for a second. So what we have here is two, like, you know, small pens. One is for factions. We only have 5 added to this like faction section for now, but that's only because the game just started. So we have black win reputation, you know, metric. We have orange win, silver win, etc. So this is basically the reputation of us with other employees of Kronos. Because we have started in the white wing, we already have a small boost of respect. Basically, we have started the career in white wing, and that's why we well, that's why we have a small boost in the beginning. When we do something that affects other people, these may affect reputation basically. And here we have this picture of the guy, you know, getting the Vega vending basically. I'll click on it. So we can see this, you know, muscular orange. He's kind of poking around this vending and does something, and I can just pass by. I can just watch for him without being noticed for a while, and I can interfere, which I will do. I'm getting closer. He's kinda, you know, getting the machine, pulling the wires out, and then, you know, he's lucky and he gets some, you know, some stuff from it, some, you know, soda and, you know, the Nula noodles and stuff like this, which is sold in it. And here I have one of many examples of the my wing checks. If I would be inside black wing, I could choose this. If I will be blue or silver or orange, etc. But I'm in white wing. So, and you know, this guy, he's not not really fond of you know, white wing scientist. He says me to, you know, to get back to my test labs or something. I can't really do anything against this guy because, well, he's tough and stuff like this, and I'm just a scientist. So I'm saying, I promise you, you'll have some trouble, and I'm just move away. And what I can do, I can go to this Indra Kapoor, the officer, security officer we have seen before. I can talk to him, and first of all, I can agree to make his quest, but also what I can say, I have seen the orange that was stealing, you know, stuff from the vending machine. I'm saying this, and he looks worried, and he says it happened all the time, and he calls for the like on the radio, and other, you know, security officers come by and pick up that orange guy. As you can see, he was in there, but now he's gone. And the most important part in here is that my reputation has changed. So I now helped the black wing guy stop the, you know, vending machine thief, and I have small boost of respect in like with this faction. But my orange wing orange wing employees, they don't really like it that I told that Harry, you know, Rockwell is breaking the machine, so my reputation goes down with them. This is one of the many examples how your actions, your deeds basically affect, you know, your interaction with other people, other factions, because at some situations you will be able to choose unique answers if your reputation is high enough, as we could see probably when we needed to open the gates in the warehouse, or some quests could be locked because your reputation is not, you know, high enough. So we're here to figure out what's wrong with this camera system. If we talk to the terminal, we can figure out that there are 6 cameras. Wait, what's going on? Okay, she asks why we are touching the system, and we can say we're here to fix the camera. And we can examine all the camera monitors, but we can check out the fourth, and it says it has white noise instead of the image, and we need to figure out why. So there is this like mainframe attached to it, and probably there is something wrong with it. I can scan it. I can also scan this like security system to get more you know, science points, and I can hack into the system to figure out what's wrong. So I'm using my, you know, hacking ability, which I have purchased inside the science skill branch. And yeah, it says that mainframe is now much friendlier when I hacked through it. so I can run all sorts of, you know, computer stuff like syscheck to figure out what's wrong, but it says, okay, it says one of the video recording card is broken. It says hardware error. I can try to run the update, but it doesn't really help because system is outdated. I can look through the archive of, you know, what happened before with this mainframe. It doesn't really matter in this situation, but I can look inside the hardware and I can, well, check the slot. I found something which is a broken nail stuck inside this, you know, mainframe. I can reboot it, and what's going on? Run the system check. Okay, all good. So I think I fixed it. Okay, the fourth one working now. I can return to the guy, to the Indra Kapoor, which gave me the side quest, and I can not only tell that I fixed the machine, but also that I found a broken nail, and that's probably there was some sabotage, so like someone intentionally put like the nail in the cameras, like in the mainframe, so it will block the cameras away. So someone for some reason doesn't want to have a recording of those events, basically. When I do this, I again have small reputation boost with Black Queen because, well, I held them. And well, we're done here, like for um for this level for now. So I'm gonna go back to the labs and try again to show you that you know, hidden area when I was, you know, bugging last time. I think there is a chance it will be good this time. I'm gonna save real quick. So I'm here in this you know, underground passage. I'm not gonna touch these anomalies for now because looks like there might be a small technical problem with it, but I'm gonna go in here. I found a secret, so I can dig this pile of like you know, basically the dirt pile of rocks. I can find well, a small bunch of loot hidden in it. So I found my first relic, which is like, you know, basically artifacts of the unknown, you know, of forefathers, the unknown civilization. They have left whole bunch of stuff. So this one I can apply here. This there are 5 slots for the like for the relics, and relics have various, you know, effects, which sometimes those are positive, sometimes those are negative. But they're pretty useful. Or sometimes they combine, you know, like negative and positive effects. And what is important here, I can use this passage to get into the area which would be restricted otherwise. So I'm here in Morgue. I just use this underground passage. You can see that the freezing status is applied to me because it's cold in here. I have -1 deafness, which is like, you know, like agility, and -10 initiative for the time I'm being here in this cold room. If I go back, you can see it's removed. I can check out the terminal. It doesn't have any data. I can check out the dead bodies to figure out what's wrong with the, well, with these people. So one of the guys is George Bixby, and he's pretty old, and now he's dead. And I can, well, check out other cold chambers, and I can find some, you know, pretty unique stuff that happened to these people. So, well, if I check out this Josh Bixby, I can inspect the body and I can find the ring on his finger. Basically, I can remove it and I can pick it up. I can leave from here because actually I didn't need to use the underground tunnel because I'm from white wing, so I could access it anyway. But for other wings like black wing, blue wing, if they don't have a lockpick in, it would be really important to find this, you know, underground area to be able to avoid the obstacle as the door. And I will talk to this guy, which is Enrique, and he says that his relative passed away, and he says that his relative, he is in morgue now, and there is a ring on his body, and he wants us to get it back. So we basically already found that ring. Well, and as a white wing guys, we can say that as an employee of White Wing, we're really offended by the word bitch, which he says. And also we can show him the ring that we have already found. And he says, yes, that's the same ring. But the problem is that we have checked the, like, I think at least, that we have checked the papers and then, no, we have scanned it and we can see that this guy name is Josh Bixby, not the, well, that he is not relative to the to Enrique basically, and we are leaving this ring for ourselves. So it's more than an hour now, so we are gonna stop at this point. If you have any last questions, you should ask those in comments. We'll be really happy to address those. Encased is now available in as a pre-order and at our website. You can purchase it and get the same access our Kickstarter bakers had. You can also, as I said, go to our like kronos.darkcrystalgames.com to make an NPC character, and that's it. I'm just looking at the chat for the questions for now, for a couple of minutes. So the question is, will small interactions have a long-lasting impressions on gameplay? So it depends, obviously. It depends on interaction. Some interactions, like I don't know, washing your hands, just gives you small, like really tiny bonuses for like 15 minutes or something. But it depends. Some things may, you know, affect you stronger, basically, and for a longer period of time. Alright, so looks like we don't have... okay, we have one more last question. Will characters remember how you regarded them, so you refuse to give him a ring? Could that cause potential blowback later on? Of course. That's actually the aim of, you know, quest design in Encased. Like, most obviously you have reputation, which affects your, like, how you treated people. And, you know, But you know, reputation is for, like, if you go back for this in the screen for a second, there is faction reputation and also companion reputation. I don't have any companions at the moment, but if I, for instance, framed someone, which we have some ability to do, or on the other hand, I helped someone, obviously they will remember, and there could be some, you know, further consequences depending on it. Either an autosave feature to help offset those instant death run decisions. Not yet. We'll add quick save and, you know, autosave in beta, but it's, yeah, it's functional. It's just not here, but I mean, you can save load unlimited amount of times. Yeah, obviously autosave is really needed. Can I still get my own NPC in the game? Well, yes, you can. There is a chance to do this, but you need to go to the link above and yeah, like go through the questionnaire and you know, fill the form and register. And if your biography of the NPC you have created is good enough, there is a chance you'll get into the game. We already had an update recently about the characters we already added to the game, and we'll like look through those questionnaires again and again, and we will add more basically. All right, I think that's it for today. Thank you for being with us. We are Dark Crystal Games. Again, it's Encased RPG. The links are all in the description. Please go to Steam, add to the wish list, or like maybe pre-order. And we'll do like another stream some other time, maybe in Alpha Part 2, or maybe in Beta, or we'll see. We'll see basically. So thanks for being with us. Goodbye. I'm going to turn it off now.